How's it going today? Today we're going to review some stocks. We got some good ones, some bad ones, some in-between ones, but we're going to go right into it. And we're just going to jump right into it. I did a year ago, 6 months ago, and 3 months ago. And they did pretty well. The year ones did real good. Now we're going to just jump right into it. I picked Shopify, Amazon, and Wix. Compared to the market, the S&P, that's what we're trying to beat. Down 2%. It's been kind of rough for the S&P over the last couple months for all this. Well, you know what's all going on. You know, just a bunch of craziness anyway. And but over the year, actually, the stock that's really done really good is Shopify. I mean, Shopify has done an amazing job. That stock is up 151% just year over year. I mean, this stock has killed it. I mean, that's crushed the market. That's legitimately. To get that kind of return in the S&P, you would have to held it for over 8, almost 9, 10 years almost going back that far to get 151%. Now, I took this video, I took these numbers from pre-market today on Friday, so the market could be down. These numbers could be slightly off. And you know, I mean, compared to today, I mean, I don't know what's going to do. It could be up, could be down. I think the market was down like it was around maybe 0.5%. You know, just a little bit off, but not a whole lot. Anyway, moving on is Amazon. Amazon's up 30%. Once again, killed it. I mean, crushed the market. Really did really good. I mean, just killed it. I mean, really. I mean, up 30%. I mean, usually I try to shoot for 20% return. It's pretty good. Anything below that is what I consider underperformed for me. Overperformed. If it's over 20, definitely overperformed. And now Wix is the underperformer. It's down 6%. But that could change. It could go up. Anyway, these stocks are kind of volatile anymore. They kind of go up 3 or 4% in a day, 5% in a day, then come crashing back down. Just kind of crazy. So essentially, all of them stocks together. I can leave a link down in the description where I go in details of why I picked these stocks. So essentially, an average altogether of up 58%. So essentially, killed the market, crushed it. I mean, that is really, I mean, if you can get that type of return year over year, I mean, you're gonna crush the market, really. I mean, the market's, like I said, only down 2%. So you lost 2% of your money. But if you bought these stocks I recommended, you'd be up 58%. I can leave a link down in the description so you can watch these. I still recommend them. Now we're going 6 months out. 6 months ago, in November, I picked free stocks again. Skyworks Solutions, Etsy, and PayPal. Now the market, the benchmark we're trying to beat is at 5%. 5%, down 5% actually, down 5% from November. So really, I mean, the market's been, like I said, pretty bad over the last couple months, and so I believe it will recover slowly, and you know, it will eventually recover. But down 5%, you lost 5% of your money if you bought it 6 months ago. Now, Skyworks Solutions is up 14%. It's a chip maker, 5G play. I mean, really hasn't really been affected at all. Really, a lot of these tech companies haven't been really affected at all from this coronavirus, and especially the oil, especially like the Dow. I think the Dow's down over 10% over the last 6 months. So essentially, the Dow just got killed because it has a bunch of bank exposures. If we're going in a recession, then ones you don't want to own, oil companies. So essentially, I mean, oil crashed and did what it, you know, I mean, everybody seeing the headlines and gas prices lately. I mean, they've just been getting killed. But anyway, Skyworks Solutions up 14%. Etsy, it's a online, basically a marketplace. Basically, like I don't want to call it an online flea market because it's a little bit more than that. But it's kind of like an online flea market. You know, people craft things and put things on there, and then they kind of go sell it online, and they kind of like, I guess, handcrafted type stuff, I guess. You know, they do a lot of that, but that's Etsy, up 67%. Really just kind of killed it with online shopping, online, everything going online, and Etsy's kind of the leader in that industry. When it comes to handcrafted stuff selling on there, online is Etsy. PayPal up 18%, really beat the market pretty good. I mean, all these stocks have beaten the market. In this group, 6 months ago, I picked them. So essentially, you're up 33% on average on these picks versus negative 5%. So essentially, once again, beat the market pretty quick, pretty good. And on that 6 months ago that I picked those free stocks. Now comes the stocks that I picked that actually were probably my worst picks. 3 months ago, I picked them in February, which I actually picked it at the peak, per se. It was almost at the peak. Some of them weren't, but really they've been getting hammered. I mean, market's down 13%, and the free stocks I picked was Godaddy, Appen, and then Square. So essentially, not too good for some of these stocks. GoDaddy is a domain name. Basically, if you build a website, you need a domain name, and it kind of helps you with that. It has some other things, and it's kind of competing with Shopify, maybe a little bit, but Shopify is miles ahead of them. But it's only down 2%, but a lot of these stocks, they were down over 50-60% when I picked them. So essentially, that's why the most important thing to do when the market goes down is you do not sell, or you will be sitting at a loss, especially when everybody's panicking. I'm not saying you have to buy and dive into it, but do not sell, or you will lose money. You will lost, I think, on average, over 60% on these stocks if you would have sold, but now you lost 2. So essentially, that if you could have bought them, you almost, if it hits an all-time high, you would almost double it. So essentially, I mean, looking at that, Appian is down over 27%, so getting pretty banged up there, but it was down over 60, I think 70%. So, I mean, these things got clobbered. I mean, they sold off and the market sold off. And normally these growth stocks that I pick normally get hammered when the market goes down just because they have so much profit. I mean, let's say Shopify, if it gets hammered, I mean, everybody's just selling to get out of the market to take profits. I mean, that's really what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with these companies. They're just, maybe a little exposure. I mean, with slow in business, it affects everybody, but not as much as some companies, but they all get hammered. And the Square is another one. I mean, I picked it. It's down 20%. So essentially, there's free stock sampler. But I think all these companies are pretty good. I think they're all good going forward. But now the average down 16%. The market's down 13%. So actually, this is the one and one and only one that I'm actually losing to the market. Only 3 months ago. I always look out 3 years. When I pick them on this channel, I always think 3 years, at least 3 years, or even 5 years, but definitely just 1 year. I don't sell any stock less than 1 year, ever. I never sold any stock that I've held for under a year. I've always held them for a year. So essentially, 3 months. I mean, these stocks, like I said, I mean, they were rallying over 70%. So really, I mean, a lot of these stocks have done well over the last couple of years. So essentially they took a hit. And, I mean, it's kind of expected. After a while, these things just can't keep going up. They get hit, and that's just kind of how it is. So essentially, over the 3 months, so a year ago, it did pretty good, and 6 months did a little bit better. 3 months, not that good. 6 months, a little bit better than a year. Obviously, you can just kind of see it from these, But anyway, that's all I have to say about these. I always review them I review every single one. I believe everybody can pick a stock, but how many people actually review them, actually take the time and go, you know what? These are the ones I picked. These are the numbers, good or bad. I mean, I showed you my bad ones and my good ones in this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I could do updates on these stocks if there's something major news or weekly updates or whatever I have to do, or leave a comment on the descriptions of what you want to learn or whatever. And thank you for watching. Thank you.